Blog Talk Radio.
I'll be brief. I won't hold you up like some common thief. I'll get straight to the point. In no time, I'll have you up out this joint. I'll be short. I won't keep you like you're in some jury court, waiting while debating which plaintiff case will prevail, or deciding which one will go to jail. Yes, I'll hurry. You don't have to worry. I'm already fixing to get ready to go. So before anyone hits the door, just remember, I still have the floor. I'm a poet, for those of you who don't know it, and it's been my real intention to show it.
Silence yourself. Stand perfectly still. Do not move. Take deep breaths, breathing in and breathing out, relaxing yourself, letting the frequency around you and the aura permeate your body. Now exhale, breathing the carbon dioxide out of your body, allowing yourself to just drift into the atmosphere. As you drift into the atmosphere, allowing yourself to think about nothing. As you think about the new year that is upon you, you notice a water stream right in the midst of you. You are now taking in that substance. As I take you on this guided
Good evening, good evening. Welcome to Omega's production studio. Thank you so much for joining me. This week we're celebrating Nina Simone's special uplifting day to restore Nina Simone to her music. And we are going to be talking about a special topic tonight. We're going to highlight on a topic for women. So women, if you're out there, I'd like for you to come in and be a part of our discussion. It is a hearty discussion and a most needed one. Our black people have been misinformed. We have been fooled again. As you know, in many states, they are now thinking about or considering legalizing marijuana, and most black people are so happy about it because they figure they finally gave us a sedative that we can legally smoke that won't hurt us. Contraire, my friend, let's rethink this whole thing. Good evening. How you doing, Kim? Thank you so much for joining us. Let's rethink this whole thing, and let's make sure we don't come out of the situation behind and sick and dead 6 feet under. We want to talk about the woman today, and we want to talk about her pregnancy. We want to talk about her fetus, and we want to talk about her general health. And we must be living well these days. There's so much out there like coronavirus that is earmarked and targeted for some race of people that is killing the majority of our people. How you doing out there, Timothy? Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we are also broadcasting live on the Spreaker Show. And for those of you who are Spreaker followers, we do have our studio up and running for Spreaker. And today's show is about, can we be dangerous to pregnant women? Can we be dangerous to pregnant women? Let's talk about it. First of all, let's break some topics down and let's go into some real science today. We know that the United States of America has decided in many of the states to legalize marijuana. At the same time, we know that marijuana's cousin, that is a medicinal product, that is hemp oil, has also been legalized. Now, if we already have hemp oil, hello, how you doing out there, Maria? Thank you so much for joining us. We're talking on a subject that is a woman's subject. Even though this is Nina Simone's week, we are going to pivot and pause to focus in on some issues that women can benefit from. We want to clear up some misnomers, and we want to make sure that we understand that this alternative medicinal that we're turning to is free of any pesticides or added substance. But let's talk about it. Now, anytime the government tells you, okay, we're going to go ahead and make weed legal, when they've already put men and women in jail that are currently doing time now, how could it possibly be okay to consume? Is it because now people know how to lace marijuana with other substances like PCP, like other lace drugs that can be dangerous, that can kill? Most black people are not looking into the scientific of it. They're just looking at the high of it and how good they're feeling. Now, if you're not growing your own marijuana, you should not be consuming anybody else's marijuana. I don't care if it is legal. People tend to want to lace these products and add extra substance to this pure weed. They might grow a pure weed, a healthy weed, but then they lace it with all types of chemicals that can kill. And what does it do to the fetus? What does it do to the mother's child in the womb? It does devastating things to the child in the womb, and the mother ought to know about it. Mothers who are running around here consuming alcohol and smoking weed, I don't care if it is legal in your state, you could be consuming death and not know it. You can be consuming all kind of lace material that are substances that get into your body and cause side effect. Now, for those women who don't want to hear, they just want to high and want to feel good and want me to shut my mouth, I got news for them. I was once young myself, and we hung out at clubs where they were doing reefer and pot, and everybody was taking a sip. During those days, back in the 70s, we were getting pure weed, and we knew what was put in it because we were growing it ourselves. Nowadays, people are dependent on the market to go out and cop some weed from people they don't even know. They have no idea that they can get you hooked and get you coming back for death and not know it. A lot of women have consumed weed, and when they've gone to their checkups, they've had to tell the truth. Yes, I've consumed weed. Yes, I have smoked pot. And it goes on the record. And when it goes on the record, it becomes a drug. You are now labeled a drug offender. And you don't even know it. You think that you are occasionally having a casual smoke or two, and that's okay. But once they mark it on your record that you are a drug offender, that could affect you. Now, ladies, let's be smart. Let's be real smart. Children are already born here with all types of diseases and addictions. Some children are born here with alcohol syndrome, where they are actually having a reaction, a withdrawal from alcohol. And some women have children that are unable to even concentrate, to focus, and those children are tested in the school system and they're found to have disabilities, not necessarily disabilities that will get them a check, but as other health impaired. Now, mothers don't know why their babies can't learn. Mothers don't know why the babies can't sit still. Mothers don't know why the baby is always in trouble fighting. Then come to find out the mother has consumed either alcohol or marijuana throughout her pregnancy, and it has affected the child. Now, most women will say, well, I don't know if marijuana will affect my child. I'm going to keep on doing it because it feels good to me. And my man and me, we smoke together. Okay, you got a ritual going there. You got a real ritual. It's okay to have rituals, but make sure you understand why you're doing the ritual. There are many other rituals that you could do with your man that don't indicate that you're using weed that could be laced. So you have to be educated. You have to know how to put down the weed if you didn't grow it, and if you didn't roll it, you shouldn't be smoking it. But a lot of mothers, they are going through the trouble of having to put this on their record. Now they're losing their Medicaid. Now they're being identified as a drug-addicted person. And now they're being called to the front office to be told, if you don't stop smoking this weed, if this baby comes here addicted, we're going to take your child from you. Now, do you want that to happen? Do you want somebody or agency to tell you that your child is going to be placed in a social service agency with foster care because your child has been born with marijuana in their blood? Some people think, oh, if I just stop using for a week, that the marijuana in my blood will go away. No, not that easy. You have got to understand that your body has to be fully detoxified to clear the weed out of the system. It still shows up in the blood. Now, what's in the blood is not just your business. It becomes DCFS business and everybody else's business. And it's very vital that we should really realize there are a lot of things out there that we can consume that will help us to relax and unwind. And it doesn't have to be weed. Weed has a tendency to have some side effects, believe it or not. People become somewhat sedated, nonchalance, and has an inability to drive anywhere because their senses are very much slowed down. But yet, to let somebody tell it who is a user, they say, oh, weed doesn't do anything to me. It just makes me feel high, and it's temporary. No, it's not temporary. How you doing there, Jamel? How are you? Thank you so much for joining us this evening. This is our special for Nina Simone's week. We're focusing in on women this week, and we're going to be talking about how does weed affect the pregnant woman. And can this weed show up in the pregnant woman's blood during a blood test? Yes, it can. Can this be a problem for the patriot receiving her Medicare? Can this be a problem where she could lose her Medicare and possibly lose her unborn child if it's born with marijuana in the bloodstream? Now, they've tricked us. They've told us, oh, yes, we're going to legalize marijuana. Now, it might be legalized in the city. However, it federally can be denied. And if it's federally denied, it can become a federal offense. Okay? A lot of people don't know the laws and the regulations of which states have been approved. But it's very important that you understand, no matter if they are approved, you got to know what your rights are. If you cop some weed from someone that has been putting all kinds of laced material in the weed and you become sick and ill, you don't have any recourse to go back to that drug dealer and say, hey, you sold me some bad weed. Most of the time you shut your mouth and go ahead on your way. But we black people are just like Native Americans. Yes, we like the peace pipe. We like to pass the peace pipe. We like to feel mellow. We like to feel like we can unload our stress and relax. And that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. There are other products out there in the neighborhood of hemp oil. And hemp is the cousin of marijuana. And you must understand that hemp doesn't have the PCP in it that marijuana has. So you can consume that by rolling that up, smoking that, and not getting the kind of high that you get from marijuana, but getting a mellow feeling without the side effects. Why not switch over? Why not make that transition and switch over? Oh, but you say it doesn't taste as good as marijuana. Who cares? It's legal and it's a medicinal product. and it can be consumed by anyone without any charges. Now, if you're caught with marijuana in any particular state where it's not legal, you can be brought up on charges for not just a misdemeanor, but a felony. Now, once again, how are you doing, Robert? Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have to know what is wrong and what is right. For so long, they have fooled us out of our rights to know. A lot of us, when we came up in the 70s and 60s, we loved smoking weed because it was the way to escape society. We thought it was a way to put down our burden and lay our burden down. Now, with hemp oil and hemp products, it is also rolled and smoked just like a joint. However, it has no PCP in it and is purely legal. And hemp has gone back and forth to court to make it legal. And most states now, I think, is pretty much legal. And it might be a few more states that they're fighting for. But it is a medicinal. It is a healer. And a lot of people can get marijuana grade for health purposes. Yes, they can get a prescription for that, but they have to make sure that they're getting it from somebody that is ethical, who is not adding PCP or other laced material. You have to be very careful about what you put in your bloodstream. But we have a large amount of young people who are not informed, and they're going to get caught up, and they're going to get pulled in, and they're going to get charges put on them just because they're looking for a mellow time out. Then look towards the actual hemp oil and hemp products. Go and research them and find them, and find a dealer who actually sells hemp oil and hemp products, because you can also get the papers and roll the hemp products just like the weed. If you were not informed, now you're informed and now you know. But yes, marijuana that's been laced with products can hurt the unborn fetus. It can hurt the mother where she cannot focus. She cannot begin to remember. Her memory will take its toll. It affects the memory, marijuana, where the long-term and short-term memory is affected. If you notice, most weed users have a tendency to be scatterbrained and cannot recall information. Now, we're going to get an understanding of this because we're going to keep informing our black people that there's something out there that's a substitute for marijuana that they can use legally. And we're going to push the hemp products. So you can go into the stores where they sell CBD. Normally, in those facilities, they also sell the hemp oil, which is the cousin of marijuana and is perfectly legal in most states. It is a medicinal. It is a healer. It works to heal diabetes. It also works to heal any eyesight problem from having a vision problem. And it would be a good thing to do to spend some time in one of your health food stores exploring the benefits of hemp products. But it's very vital that we should understand that mothers cannot continue to damage their fetus because their babies are coming out shortchanged. They're having withdrawals. They're having problems mentally. We have to know this, mothers. You cannot get pregnant and consume alcohol and drugs. It will affect the unborn fetus. Now, I think Nina would want to talk about this and give you more input, and that's why I thought to bring this topic in on the occasion of Nina Simone's holiday. I want you to know that we as black people have got to stop being fooled. And when I say fooled, I mean fooled by society and tricked. And we have more knowledge now and information than ever before. There is no reason why we cannot find this information on the internet. Let's do roll call and see who's here. Let me see. Jamel, Robert Reed, Lynn Ray, Timothy, and Kim. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is the beginning of our new year, and we are getting informed. How's everybody doing out there with our speaker? Spreaker is on the air, and we like to thank Spreaker for being a part of our show. And I want to say to my Facebook listeners, if you have not already done so, tell a friend, like and share, and also become a follower. Become a follower of my station. I would definitely like that and would enjoy you being not only just a friend, but a follower. And we had a full house the day before. We've been talking about many subjects here in the live Facebook. And one thing I want you to know is that our people perish for lack of knowledge. And when we don't have the knowledge, we begin to perish. And I want to hope and pray that we can pass on information to each other to help broaden our knowledge, to help us to become better people. When you know better, you do better. And like I said, I was a youngster once. I was a college student, and we all got together and had our groups and had our smoke-ins. But we were very clever in making sure we knew who made that product, and it wasn't somebody that was off the streets that we didn't know, and we were copying from a stranger. And PCP is very dangerous, and know this, people. Some people have become deranged and become really, really sick behind smoking weed with PCP in it. They can lace it with just about anything, and it could be earmarked for African Americans. Earmarked, do you hear me? And it could only affect African American and none other non-melanite people. And wouldn't it be a shame if they wanted to get rid of most of the African Americans that they lace the actual marijuana with something that would only affect African Americans? Now, we have to be smart and clever. Now, I know a lot of you out there say, I'm going to have my joint. I don't care what on me say. I'm going to have my joint. Yes, have your joint. Smoke it and relax and have, after effects that you can't control. But know what you're doing and know what you're getting, because you could be getting death. And don't just cop from anyone. And make sure you go into the health food stores and ask about hemp. Hemp oil will smoke just about as good as reefer will smoke. However, it's known as hemp, and it's the cousin. It is not marijuana. And it wouldn't hurt you to switch over to hemp from marijuana, which hemp is legal in most states. Now, for those women who are pregnant, you shouldn't be consuming any type of smoke to calm your nerve, because you don't know what the effects are on that fetus. You don't know what may happen to that child after it's born. We have to be very careful about the fetus, the unborn fetus, and not consuming these things. Now, marijuana has a great history to it. And most entertainers used to smoke it because they said it helped them unwind, helped them to relax, it helped them to play and perform better. Well, I can't attest to that. But what I can say, it was produced like the peace pipe. They passed it around. Most Native Americans consume a form of marijuana to relax them. But I don't think their product was marijuana. And I don't think their product was consumed by PCP. We have got to get very, very conscious and aware, because a lot of us are not conscious and we're not aware. Therefore, we make mistakes and we end up getting caught with marijuana and getting taken down and charged for drug addiction. Now, there's a lot of people in prison right now because they were consuming or carrying marijuana. That is when it was definitely not legal in any state. But now they're making us think it's okay in some states. Then we find out that it's a federal law against it, even though it might be approved in that state. So we have to be very, very careful. We cannot be out here uninformed. We have to be informed about these things. Now, if there's anyone that would like to say something on this topic, go ahead and speak. Type something on the screen so I can read your comments. Thank you for saying hi. I do appreciate that. But we're all intelligent people now. We can type more than just one word. We can type a paragraph, or we could even type 2 paragraphs and say something. And I'm looking to see how you feel about it, because a lot of people don't want you to take their marijuana away from them. It's the only thing that they know that they can take to calm their mind, to give them the ability to get up in the morning. Well, I'll say this. It makes a lot of people lazy. A lot of people that are very, very strung out and cannot function throughout the day without smoking their weed, and who are not able to follow through on chores and to get things done. So if this marijuana is doing this to you, then it is not a stimulant. It is not doing what it's supposed to do. I guess it is just relaxing you, but you can't stay in a relaxed mode all your life. But this topic is for the benefit of those mothers who want to get off weed, don't know how to get off weed, have become addicted to weed, and need someone to gradually direct them into the right direction. It's hope for you out there. That's why they've created the hemp products, and it comes in, it is an actual vapor that they have that they can use. It is also a product that is in the bouillons that they use to smoke. It is a product that you can substitute for marijuana, and it's something you ought to check out and look into and research, because a lot of people are perishing for the lack of knowledge. How you doing out there? Who is this? Longs, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We got almost a full house in here, and we're talking about the topic of, does marijuana affect the pregnant woman? Yes, it does affect the pregnant woman. And the pregnant woman has to be very, very careful about what she puts into her mouth, because it will affect her fetus. And if you're consuming marijuana, you could possibly get some marijuana with PCP in it, and that is the product that's dangerous. Hemp oil doesn't have large doses of PCP in it like marijuana. It is a cousin of marijuana, but of course, it also was created to relax you. It is an herb medicinal that will heal the body, and a lot of people get prescriptions to take hemp oil and hemp products to help them. And you need to talk to your doctor about any form of medicinal that you choose to use. Talk to your doctor. Ask your doctor about it. Now, I want to see what's going on over in my speaker room. Speaker people, should African Americans take this as an alert? Should they have a meeting about it? Should they have a general consensus? Because there's a lot of people out there still, they got a clientele market of people buying weed, and they're lacing it with everything, and they're shooting it into our community. We got to be wise. We got to tell those brothers that are out there shooting and selling that bad marijuana that's laced, no, we don't want it anymore. We know that there's something better. We don't want you to try to push it in our community. We got to talk about it. And that's why these airways have been created, to talk about subjects as this. Does anybody have any questions, or would they like to make a statement? Go on, you can speak if you like to. We'd like to hear from you. I'm trying to bring you on the camera. Let's see. Okay, she wants me to bring her on the camera. Let's see how we bring her on the camera. Okay, let's see how we bring her on the camera. We're just trying to bring you on the camera if we can. I don't know. How you doing out there, Loretta? And Janita, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're trying to bring somebody on the camera. Okay, I did try to bring somebody on the camera. I don't know what happened. Are you able to come on the camera? Every time it says the connection is failing. I don't know why we can't bring you on the camera. We can't seem to bring her on the camera. Okay. I don't know. We tried to bring you in the camera. Now, is there anyone that'd like to come on the camera? I'm trying to bring you on the camera. Well, I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to. All right, once again, we're talking about can it be dangerous for a woman to consume weed while pregnant? And we already determined that it's very dangerous and that most of our marijuana has PCP in it, traces of it, and it can affect the unborn fetus. And mothers who are on WIC or welfare, who are doing their prenatal checkups, if they're found with weed in their bloodstream, they can be called in and they can be questioned, and it can affect their benefits. It could affect their Medicare, the Medicaid, or it could affect their ongoing benefits for their well child checkup. So I would suggest if there are any women, or you know of any women who are consuming marijuana while going through gestations of pregnancy, that they stop it, that they really look into other alternatives such as hemp products, because hemp products were made as a medicinal to the cousin of marijuana, and some doctors are aware of it and they can prescribe it for you. If you have a need for this kind of product for your health condition, for something that will settle you down, a lot of military men and women who come back from having various different side effects from the medicines that they're taking while in the military. They're given this hemp product to help them to come off of marijuana, to wean them off of marijuana. And a lot of people should have as their New Year's resolution, they're going to wean themselves off of marijuana this year. They're going to come away from it, because who knows what somebody could be lacing it with. And you don't want to say that I didn't know. Ignorance is no excuse of the law. You've got to find out when you consume some marijuana, what is in it? What did someone lace it with? And if you don't know, you have no business consuming that product. And you have to understand that for the longest, we were protected by our brothers and sisters in the community to make sure they had pure marijuana. Now nobody's out there protecting us. We're getting all kinds of sedatives that are laced with all kinds of chemicals that can kill. And they have killed some people. And just are not publicizing it. But for the mothers out there who really need this message better than anybody else, I'm saying to you, just stop smoking marijuana altogether, because you can't be sure. And when you stop smoking it altogether, if you can't get your nerves together and you can't seem to pull yourself together mentally, most women need to go in and talk to their doctors about what happens to them when they have a partial hysterectomy. What happens to them when they have a complete hysterectomy. Their hormones are gone. Their hormones are all off balance, and they are all over the place, and mentally they're unstable. And there's a large amount of women suffering from mental illness right now, and they're self-medicating with marijuana. They're using it to treat their withdrawal stage. They're using it to treat their conditions that they have with anxiety. There are a large percentage of us that are African Americans suffering from anxiety attacks. Some anxiety attacks could be attachment problem. Some anxiety can be from having bipolar disorder. But it's very important that we get real help for our mental illness and don't bait ourselves and sedate ourselves with drugs such as marijuana, because it could cause a problem too. So for those women who know that they have anxiety attacks, but they don't know how to deal with it, the medicine that the doctor may be giving them may be too strong. They don't want to take it, but yet they need something to calm them down. When schizophrenic came out, the white man created the schizophrenic diagnosis for his white woman, because she was fidgety and she couldn't sit still and she was always antsy. So he created schizophrenia, and he created a medicine for it so she could be contained. Now, don't you think us as black people, we are going through something, and at the end of the day, we need to unwound, and sometimes we may have a number of different mental disorders, anxiety, separation. When someone leaves us, we fall apart. We can't stand up. We may be suffering from fear that we're going to lose our jobs. The anxiety shows up there. Every day at the end of the day, we go through changes because we don't know if we're going to have a job in the morning. So, yes, you might have a bit of an edge that you need to round off, but it shouldn't be with marijuana. As I'm saying, you can look into talking to your doctor about hemp oil and hemp products. And if he doesn't know anything about, or she doesn't know anything about the hemp products, then start researching it for yourself. Let me see who's all in the room today. Hello, Jamel. Hello, Robert. Hello, Timothy. Hello, Pippi. Hello, Harry. Who is this? Is this Harry? Hello, Harry. Hello, Loretta. And hello, Janita. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. You got your Omi Inca live here, coming at you with a topic that is strictly for women. And men, you can come in and listen to, because you have to put up with these behavior problems that these women have. You have to look at them crawl off the wall and into your laps with their hideous psychological disorders, and sometimes they come as a package. Sometimes after you've had your hysterectomy, your wounds removed, now you're crying to the doctor saying, hey, I need something to take off the edge. My hormones are all over the place. I'm crying one minute and the next minute I am singing. I can't control my hormones. I need to have some hormone replacements. Now, then you got the women going in and out of the doctor's office trying to settle themselves. What is the problem? Then the doctor said, well, I think you need to go and have a psychological evaluation. Maybe there's something else going on. Maybe your hormones has caused you to be off balance. Then they begin to start to self-medicate themselves. They take a little reefer here and there to calm themselves down, to mellow themselves. It is normal. There is something going on, and the doctor should know this. And when you've taken away the full hysterectomy, the hormones are no longer intact. Now the women have got serious psychological problems from a deficiency of their hormones being balanced. So if they are going to self-medicate, look up the products for hemp oil that they created. They created a wealth of products for hemp oil. And women can take them knowing that they're going to mellow them out, relax them, and help them, and not create the side effects that the marijuana does. PCP can do a whole lot of things that are damaging to you. A lot of military men, they took marijuana anyway because they wanted to take the edge off all the side effects that they were feeling from some of the drugs and medicines that they were getting in the military. Now they know better. The doctors are telling them that don't go for marijuana, go for the hemp products. They will sedate you, relax you, and help you with your mental stability. But it's very important that we are aware of this and we don't go on as if we never heard this topic and continue to use marijuana, because it could be dangerous for us, very dangerous. Now, are there any other questions? Would someone like for me to add them on? I'm going to try that one more time if you want to be added on, and then I can bring you up to speak. Once again, Happy New Year to everyone, and thank you so much for starting your year off with OMI. If you haven't done so, go down and like and share. Tell somebody about my show that I'm on, and go down and make sure you become a follower. I don't need any more friends. I need some followers. If you sign up with me, you better be signing up to be a follower. I need followers because I'm taking you somewhere. I can't begin to take you somewhere if you're not on the road with me. So go ahead and sign up. And thank you so much for liking and sharing my show. How many of you feel like this is something worthwhile that you need to know about? If so, raise both hands up and let me see you holler. Okay. All right. Now, once again, this is the aftermath of New Year's. We are bringing in Nina Simone's week. We're going to be talking about things that pertain to women. We know Nina Simone was a woman. Last night we did a few jingles and songs, and we kept the momentum going talking about Nina Simone. If any of you would like to say anything about Nina Simone or bring any of her songs in, please let me know. Okay, it says bring me. How are you doing there, Reverend Eddie? Thank you so much for joining me. Let me see here. I'm trying to bring you in, but I don't know why you're not coming in. Pippi, let's see. Okay. So how's everyone doing this evening? We're talking about a hot topic about marijuana. And does marijuana affect the fetus? And can it affect the individual? Yes, it can. Once it gets in the bloodstream, with a pregnant woman, it shows up in the bloodstream. And